Hello and welcome to some more Sega GT Online. This is part 20, and in today's part we're going to be tackling the next Chronicle Mode car up for grabs. Well, up for grabs, more like up for availability. I don't even know what I'm saying. Thank you for the host, Chris. We have the Toyota Celica 1600 GT from 1972. Of course, anyone who knows about this car knows that this is the OG, the original Celica. We have some colors here. I think we're going to go with red for this one. I think the red looks quite nice. Also, fun fact, the track that you were seeing in the little video footage there is a track that did not make it to the final game. And I'm talking about GT 2002, not GT Online. So it was cut even later than that, which is unfortunate. So anyways, you get the idea. If you've watched parts 18 or 19, you already know exactly how this works. We go through all the different periods of time. And of course, for the first section here, we just get a duplicate car for our, in terms of our assisted vehicle. I say assisted vehicle. It's not really an assisted, just kind of a representative of the time frame vehicle. The one thing you're gonna, I suspect some of you will probably start feeling about Chronicle Mode, and I really don't blame you if this is the case, is that it's gonna start feeling fairly excessive. Because you do the same, you do 6 tracks, all of which on at least the late 70s, they always start on the same track, which is Brick Raceway, and yeah, basically it's just the sort of thing where it gets a bit excessive after a while, but in the hunt for completion's sake, and also to show off everything in the game, it is something I am trekking through, because, you know, I want to be able to show... that's my sort of thing, just wanting to be able to show off everything. And yes, boom. Enjoy that sepia tone whilst it lasts for the first 3 races. Also, thank you, Jason, for the host. So yeah, right now, in case you're wondering, it is just me currently. I'm actually not in a voice session right now, so it's just me kind of just chilling it. But we'll see. Maybe that might change later on. Just right now, it's just a little. Just right now, I'm just it's a bit earlier. I started doing my stream a little bit earlier than I have in the past. Although most of it is because I want to be able to, you know, kind of get this done earlier on, and then be able to spend the later hours working on some videos and whatnot, rendering and what have you. Because, you know, productivity is a good thing, I believe. At least that's what I like to keep telling myself. Also, according to the bitrate, it does seem like things are more smooth today, and that would make sense. The huge gusts of wind we were having yesterday are gone now, so that would probably have a lot to do with it. Yeah, I don't understand what was the reasoning it got taken out. It would have been nice just to have another track, as well as like one that has like a kind of like a road course layout like Indianapolis. But just we'll never know. They took it out early. They took it out before this game's like initial Sega GT 2002 release. So who knows? And yes, the infamous, I suspect this is going to be an infamy from here on out, the BGA Veylon. No, that is not something Zen did for the funnies. That is exactly the file names of the car in the game's files. I didn't even realize he had left, Jason, but I understand. It's your call, it's not mine. It's just a small little group thing anyways. It's not like you're honestly missing too much personally, but hey, you do your thing. That's all that matters. Anyways, we got the first one down, of course, first of 6, and yes, just like before, we're gonna try and aim for first place in all of them. So we're gonna, of course, let's go for that weight reduction, because the weight reduction is one of the better upgrades in the game, as mentioned before, as we've even seen in the earlier parts. And our representative car this time is a Celica XX 2.0 GT, because that would have been what they would have sold during the early 80s. How dare you not miss me? I miss everyone, damn it! Like every single person I know, I've ever known. You can buy it. The mod XBE that Zen made, he made it so that you can actually make it. You can actually purchase it. It's just not accessible if you have an unmodified version of the game, because the car was never properly finished. So they basically just had it as a leftover in the files, and you couldn't actually access it through normal means. But Zen's modified XBE that I have means that I actually can use it. So I think later on in the playthrough, I might show it off. Whether or not I actually can afford it during the actual, like, you know, main part of the recording, that's a different story. But I will try to show it off, and some of the other bonus vehicles, like cut vehicles, for extra footage and whatnot. I think this is actually the... Oh, whoops. I think this is actually the... I can't remember if I was at this with the RX-3, but I think this is the first race I was... first time I'm at Standing Night Speedway. Oh yeah, the online because the online service got shut down, the original part, the original special parts that you could get through races and whatnot is no longer accessible. So you can probably also guess what Mr. Zen did as well. Because they are within the game's files. It's just you can't normally access them. Yeah, OG Xbox Live did not have to die, but then again, companies didn't want to keep these. It's a business at the end of the day, and these companies, they don't want to focus on what's old. They want to focus on what's new. The 360's Xbox Live I'm amazed, is still going, to be honest, because that's because the original Xbox Live for the original one only lasted 8 years, because it didn't launch with the console. It didn't launch right away when the console came out, because it came out in 2000. It came out in 2001. The OG Xbox near end of 2001. Xbox Live didn't launch until the following year in 2002. And then that went until April 15th, 2010. Although technically the real end date of Xbox Live is like early May 2010, because of the people who on Halo 2 realized that the service couldn't technically kick them off if they were still connected. So people would just leave their Xboxes running constantly, and then eventually just I guess people finally deciding to call it, either finally deciding to call it quits, technical mishaps with internet, maybe power outages, or their consoles maybe overheating to death, which the amount of people left slowly started to dwindle, and then there was just one person left around, I think it was May 9th or so. There was one guy left who was the only person left online, and then when he realized, well, I guess that's it, because, you know, no one else would be able to actually connect online, he basically signed off, and that was officially it. That was the original Xbox Live done for. But the Xbox 360's Xbox Live, despite some of the games no longer having service, the actual live thing itself for the 360 is still in operation, and I suspect a lot of that reason just has to do with how much greater of a success the Xbox 360 was, and how much longer it was in active development for, because people don't realize why the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 had long life cycles. part of the reason was just because of the economic recession at the time. So they would have likely not been on the shelves for as long as they were, but the recession forced their hand with it. So they had to keep producing it because people were not in a position at the time where they would have been able to afford like the next console up. And I guess they still have enough people who play Xbox Live on the 360 to warrant keeping it running, I guess. Like there are certain games and stuff that I suspect, you know, are still doing fairly well number-wise, so there's probably still validity to keeping it running, but I suspect sometime soon they'll probably consider finally pulling the plug, but we'll have to see when that is. Anyways, late 80s next. We have now again, there is technically no proper representative, although this time with that AE86 at least makes a little more sense because it is another fellow Toyota. They really should have considered having some more. They could have had like the first like Celica Supra as like the representative car for this, but they didn't. Oh, and it looks like this time we're on Falcon Wing Circuit A this time, not B. Because I think the last two times here it was Circuit B. This time it's Circuit A.
Bloop.
Bloop. Thank you for the bloop. Alright, so now I just gotta keep ahead and then just do one more lap. Thankfully, because Circuit A is one of the shorter tracks in the game, we won't be here for very long. Yeah, they are gonna be shutting those all down. I think it's just for them. It's like they feel it's just time to move on, especially, you know, with the Halo Master Chief Collection having gotten an actual PC, not just PC release, but also Steam release.
Volkswagen.
Thank you for the second bit, boo. Oh, whoops.
Oh no, step boat got stuck.
It's free. Don't worry. They did fix it. I think, right? Thank you for the 10 bits. I think technically PSN, from my understanding for the PS3 and PSP, I think we're technically in excess. The actual service, the actual like apps and stuff they use, I think was technically inaccessible since October. It's just that they had workarounds. There was like you could use like the actual like website to get access to it, and I think they only now just finally stopped that from being possible. So now there's none of that, which I'm not a fan of, because, you know, that's a lot of like digital stuff that you now can no longer access, which is something I personally hate. It's like, I understand why we live in a digital world, because for a lot of people it has to do with simplicity and just making things easier for people, rather than having like physical media that can degrade over time. But the problem is, when the digital services go down, how do you get that stuff again? That's the thing I don't like, is when they decide, oh, we're gonna just shut this off. That's all that stuff potentially gone if you haven't gotten it before. Because they mentioned that the only things you're gonna be able to access are the things that you will actually have accessed, that you will have actually gotten before as well. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do in that case? Apparently, from my understanding, it's probably not an April Fool's joke, because if it is an April Fool's joke, wouldn't they have shown it during April Fool's? Also, no random sounds, because this is going to YouTube, boo. So I don't want to get in trouble for playing a potentially copyrighted sound. No representative car this time, but we got a Fiat Coupe as the highlight car for me this time for some reason. Well, yeah, that's the good thing, X-Tech, is that PSN people have been archiving like PSN content. There's like places where you can download like the old DLC the old download packages, and then if you have like a soft modded PS3, you can install those packages to your PS3 and then get all the content that way. So people at least had enough of a brain to realize, yeah, this we need to archive this stuff in case it ever goes away. I think the PS3, PSP, it is in a, yeah, it's in a somewhat better position, but we'll have to see, right? It's just an extreme way to wash out the Dieselgate. So they're still so disgusted about the fact that they were caught with that now they're trying to rename themselves in a way to get them to try and be like, see, we're all about electric cars now. Electric cars, yeah, electricity. Most people are just like, y'all are only doing this because you were caught with Dieselgate. I don't know. Greenwashing.
Electric goes up.
Thank you for the bit. Oh wow, this car's gears are pretty short. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but yeah, this thing will only do about just over 110. 111 miles an hour is this car's top speed. Oh God, PlayStation Home. Talk about a thing that Sony never properly got behind. That thing could have been much more than it was, but they never, as Sony has the tendency to do, they never fully got behind it. And that's one of the biggest problems with Sony is like, if sometimes they'll release something, then get cold feet about it.
Sub07 told me to not mind, so now I am minding Sub with furious intent.
Damn it, Sub! Do you not realize what you have done? There is a group keeping that alive. What? Also, no random sounds, X-Taco. This is an LP that's going onto YouTube, so I don't want to use a sound that could potentially get my channel in some hot water.
Can I make it into the video?
You might have already. Thank you for the 10 bits. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, seriously though, thank you for all like the support and the people who came out last night for the birthday stream and whatnot. Again, all the stuff I usually have is still open. The bits, subs, donations, it's all still there, so if you ever do want to use that, it's always available. Also, hello, Sub. But think of the cool farts during gameplay. I've already got Edgy Jake for that. Also, hello as well, DMax40. I didn't, and as well as Fotis, the people I haven't said hello to already.
Here's this because I'm a go wash up.
Okay, well, thank you for the... I appreciate it, though. Thank you for the 100 bits, Boo, and Sob for the 50 bits as well. Yeah, that's fine, Ludo. I understand. Personal stuff comes first. I'm just a nerd on... I'm at the end of the day, I'm just a nerd on the internet. Alright, so... Trying to think. I guess the port polish might be the more Spoon of Mugen. What? Oh, Spoon or Mugen. Probably Spoon, to be honest. Spoon sports vehicles are a little more interesting to me than Mugen. All right, so the first time it's doing this, we gotta hit the restart because this representative vehicle for the time period, the Celica, is apparently way faster than everything else. I have no idea why that is. So I'm actually purposely looking at my rearview mirror to kind of keep ahead of the damn thing. Unless I do that, which I didn't want to do. Yeah, if I'm keeping... This is the annoying part. I gotta keep an eye on the road, and then I'm trying to keep an eye ahead. seriously, what the fuck is up with that thing? Alright, come on, just kick through there. Yes, 128 kilograms of pure bullshit. Hopefully one day we'll be able to figure out how to give every vehicle like parts that they normally can't access, because then that way we can just have our own lightweight cater him. Oh, I missed again. Damn it! I was trying to do the same thing I did last time on the NSX, and I still missed. Yep, and I might just basically be screwed now. Okay, come on, this might still be possible. Oh, no, this is not looking good. Alright, come on. Just gotta believe. That is very aggressive, but you know what? It had to be done. Alright, now I might have to really start playing defensively. Yes, I know, SR down. This is a very SR down action, but I gotta do what I can. Ooh, there we go. Got managed to kind of force him into the grass. Keep him away. But thankfully, the cars do slightly brake in this section, so that might help a little bit as well. Oh, God, that thing is so goddamn quick, though. Look at this. Look at this. It's pushing me now. Hey, there we go. God, that thing is ridiculous. I don't care if that's how I had to get the job done. That's what we've done. Oh my. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to really focus on that, so I couldn't read chat too much. Ugh. Alright, anyways. With that now taken care of, let's put a better suspension on the vehicle for the final thing. On what's gonna more than likely be the longest track in the game that it's gonna take us to. Yep. Ooh, there's a Tommy Mackinnon edition Evo in this. I rarely see that. Ah, yes. Representative card appeared of Fiat Barchetta. Are you sure about that? Of course, it's not really the Tommy Mackinnon edition Evo that's going to be the one to look out for. It's that Siege, which is why I'm doing this. Yes, is that a dirty move? I absolutely. Do I care? No. It's not that the Siege is overwhelmingly difficult, it's just that whenever it shows up, it's usually easily the car you have to look out for. Because it's usually, compared to the other vehicles, it's like the one that will usually keep up with you. There is, I can't really focus. There is no gearing I can do to this car. If there was a part where I could change the gearing, I would put that on, Boo. But in this mode, you can't. I don't think you can do that.
Slow down. 2's time penalty for corner cutting.
Oh, shush. Also, again, let's not use the G word for that kind of intention, please. I've had to ask someone else before not to, and I don't want to have to keep repeating for everyone else in the chat. Because I will time people out if that keeps happening. Honestly, I suspect personally Zen that WoW probably didn't realize what they were doing. There's a bit of me that wants to believe that they just set all of the vehicles up as such, not realizing that certain vehicles in particular will get huge advantages from all those from all those adjustments that they get. That's my personal belief in the situation, but I could be completely wrong. I don't really care about doing that. It's just whatever. Plus the thing. Oh yeah, they really try to balance. They do. There is definitely a balance thing, because otherwise it would be flat out impossible to win any of the races with the Honda S600. Which, spoiler alert, that's a vehicle you do use during this. BOP confirmed. See, someone's got the right idea. It's a BOP. It's just a BOP thing. That's all it is. POP equals yes. Balance of racing line. There is no racing line here, Boo. I have rid of it. Actually, there is actually technically, if you look very carefully, the tire treads of what would be a sort of racing line. It's like if you do look at it carefully, you can see like where the cars would normally be, and what they would consider to be a sort of racing line. I suspect they might have done that intentionally so they could program the AI to use it. Plus, it also just adds to sort of like realism sort of thing. Anyways, who even uses a racing line? Just awkwardly raise his hand. I don't care. I'm not bothered about it. If it's there, I'll use it. I mean, I'm not a serious hardcore racer. I'm just a guy who likes playing a lot of racing games because it's the one way to live out the fantasy of which I'll probably never be able to have in real life. God, I just made that sound really tragic. Anyways, that was actually easier compared to the previous one with that overpowered Celica SS2. God, that thing was ridiculous. I don't know what was up with that. But there we go. Another one completely done, and we get ourselves a Supra, or an early Supra, as that can be used in quick battle. Well, would be the case if it wasn't for Zen's modified XBE, but shh, we at least can still see it as a technical.
Soup.
What's my favorite racing game? Burnout 3. That's why I was playing. Is that an old fart soup? Hell yeah, brother. And again, same cutscene as always, so you're not really missing anything if you have seen it already. But yeah, there we go. So 3 of them down. So again, if you've not done any of these, you only see up to here. But last part, in part 18 we unlocked this, part 19 we unlocked this, and part 20, the infamous Honda S600. We will get to this thing, all right. But that's not going to be the next part, because the next part, we'll be taking a look at the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GTA. So stay tuned for that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this, because it really helps the channel out. And check out my other links down below, including my Twitch, where you can watch these live as they happen, including all the fails. And yeah, if you want to help support the channel, just check out my Patreon. $1 or more gets your name at the start of the video. Thank you guys, and take care.